Few things are timeless, all time valid items. One of that is communication. When I remember when I was child or when I was in school days, back then when we never used to speak so much of English, the word communication always implied us is something about English. It's about how much we know to speak in English. Natively, I was a Tamil speaker, a Tamil language which is originated in southern India. Being brought up in the circumstance, obviously we know only Tamil, and we were in English medium school where it was always talked about communication in English. And in the back of the mind, it has been registered that communication in English always means speaking in English. More than communication in English, it's just about communication. And as I grew, after I went to the studies, I was on the same impression. After I went into the work, in the same impression. Down the line, when I started interacting with the customers, that's when I started realizing what really communication is. It's not about English. It's about making the other person to be able to receive exactly what I am trying to convey. In other words, making him to understand as I understand the stuffs, or ensuring he doesn't misunderstand the stuff. This is what I found eventually after years communication is. Well, there may be the chances that still a lot of schools and a lot of little kids start with the same misunderstanding. But communication is timeless. Whatever the time may be, whether now, today, or 1,000 years back, or 1,000 years after, as a human, we always have to communicate. And the precise and exact way of communicating from our thought to the next person's thought. That's what the communication is. It doesn't need to be grammatically correct. It doesn't need to be linguistically same. Even the way of your work, the way of your doings can communicate clearly how something has to be done. For example, I always remember something like this. I imagine something like this. If I go back and teach some kids, I would teach, like, start with a simple example, show them, okay, you are good at Tamil, that's your native language. Let's start with that. You have this information that you want to communicate to the next kid, and how do you communicate some information? Let's take an example. Ask the kid, he has some toys and he is willing to give away, and how the first kid is communicating that to the second kid, and how the second kid pass it on to the third kid. Find the difference from the first kid to third kid. If the same information about giving away the toys is passed on to the second kid and third kid, then the communication is successful. If the communication is misunderstood, for example, the first kid says, I am ready to give away my toys, and the second kid imagines that, oh, I can buy the dog or I can take it away. And the second kid now understood that, like, okay, there's a toy to take away. And the second kid goes and tells the third kid, oh, there are toys to take away from the first kid. The third kid understands, okay, we can go and grab it straight away without even asking. So from the first kid to the third kid, now the communication is something like, first kid is ready to give away the toys, but the third kid is just want to grab it away without even the concern. So that's why the communication is different, whether it's properly passed down from the first idea to the second idea and the third idea. Always timeless things like this has been learned through the humankind, and we are part of the humankind. We are just a grain of the whole ocean or whole universe, and we are just inheriting a lot of such knowledges, and that those will always be timeless.